Shalom Uvracha. There's one element of the story of Yetzias Mitzrayim that doesn't appear in the Haggadah Shel Pesach, and the fact of its omission is striking, astounding, and that is the figure of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu is missing from Leila Seder. He's missing from the Haggadah Shel Pesach. Clearly, it took a tremendous amount of energy to strike Moshe Rabbeinu from the story. He's the one that Hashem appears to. He's the one that comes, the agent that appears in the name of Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu. He takes us out of Mitzrayim. How on earth is it possible that Moshe Rabbeinu doesn't appear in our story of Yetzias Mitzrayim? And one answer could be that we want to emphasize Hashem. The Haggadah tells us, Ani Hashem, and not a malach, not an angel, not a saraf, not a fiery angel. Ani Hashem v'lo acher, nobody else. Hashem took us out, b'chvodo uve'atzmai. Hashem himself redeemed us from Mitzrayim. But I think perhaps there's another element to the omission of Moshe Rabbeinu, which is no less profound. And that's the fact that when we left Mitzrayim, when Hashem redeemed us, He didn't redeem us as individuals, not as families, not as groups, not as tribes or sectors or any other identity. He redeemed us as a nation. Am zu yotzarti li, says the pasuk in Yeshayahu. I've created this nation for myself. Tilasi yisaperu, they shall tell my praise. And when the wicked son, the Ben Harasha, when we say that had he been in Mitzrayim, he would not have been redeemed, we do not say that that's because of his sinfulness, but rather it's because he took himself out of the klal. He takes himself out of the collective. If you're not a part of the klal, if you're not a part of the collective, then you're not redeemed. This is what we do in Leila Seder. We get together as families because family is the building block of a nation. Strong families, strong nation. That's how we got together at the time of our redemption from Egypt. Sele beis avois, sele bais. We took a Korban Pesach as a family ceremony. We did it as families. We get together as families and we say that our core identity is the Jewish people. And our connection to Hashem runs through the channel of that core identity of being a part of the Jewish people. That's our deepest self. That's our deepest identity. That's what we pass on to our children, to ourselves. We internalize at Leila Seder. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu isn't mentioned. Because even Moshe Rabbeinu, our greatest leader, would take away the focus on the nation. It's not about Moshe. It's about the entire nation as one body that comes forth from Mitzrayim. And this insight is such a powerful, such a crucial insight for today. Because during the year, of course, we emphasize our individuality. We're moderns. We live with an individual identity, self-worth and self-identity. We also identify as different groups. We're the Haredim, we're the modern Orthodox, we're the religious Zionists, we're the Hasidim, we're Belz and we're Vishnitz, and we're Satmar and we're Litvish, and we're everything. And each one with his quirks and his particular ways of life and his particular values and their interpretations. It's all good, providing that those are secondary identities. The primary identity, the one that we start with at Leila Seder, must be the Jewish people. We're a part of Am Yisrael. We're a part of the Jewish people. And the Jewish people are not the Haredim, and they're not the modern Orthodox, and they're not Belz. The Jewish people are the Jewish people. Only thus, with that core identity, are we redeemed from Mitzrayim. Only thus do we have the connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Of course, we have that connection individually. We have it individually as a part of the nation because our individualism is secondary to our national identity. And that insight, the insight of our core national identity, is one that informs all of our activity, whatever we do. Whether we're fighting for the Haredi draft or we're fighting against the Haredi draft, whether we're fighting for the release of every hostage, or we're fighting to defeat the Hamas as a means of releasing the hostages, whatever it is, it must be done within the context of that national identity, of that national sense of belonging, which is what informs, which is what needs to inform everything that we do throughout the year. We begin here at Leila Seder. This is how we're redeemed, and this is how we reach the ultimate destiny that Hashem is leading us towards. We should all have a wonderful Pesach filled with light. A Chag Kasher v'Sameach.